All right, I'd like to call the November 19th meeting of Board of Zoning Appeals to order. If you would stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Cunningham, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Could I get a roll call, please?
Melissa Mullins-Mischke.
Here.
Earl Cunningham.
Present.
Glenn Minnick.
Here.
Craig Zabala.
Here.
Dwayne Hogan.
Dwayne is absent today. So we have a quorum. I will entertain a motion for the approval of the meeting minutes for October 15th.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. So let's move on to our petitions this evening. I just want to remind everybody, when we ask for remonstrance, that is your time to speak, either for or against something. There is no additional public comment. So with that, let's go to petition number 1, a petition for variance of developmental standards for Michael and Rhonda Graves to construct a second accessory structure, being an in-ground pool. The property is located at 4957 North Remington Square, LaPorte, Indiana, Kankakee Township, zoned R1A on 1.02 acres. Michael and Rhonda, are you here? If you want to come up to the podium and present your legal work to our attorney, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do. Thank you. Oh, I should probably say that, huh? So while we're waiting on the legal work for petition number 1, anybody here for petition number 2 for Timothy and Gail Lernahan? Their petition has been postponed until next month. So if you're here for petition number 2, you want to come back on December 17th.
No, this is adequate.
Thank you. So if I could get you to step to the podium and make sure you speak into the mic, I'd love your name and address for the record, please.
Michael Graves, 4957 North Remington Square, LaPorte, Indiana, 46350.
And Michael, you want to put in a pool.
Yes.
Let's hear all about that.
We went to file for the petition, or for the permit for the pool, and we found out that that counts as a structure, and we already have one structure on our property, which was a garage, I guess I would say, a detached garage that was put up by the previous owner.
Okay.
So that's what we need the variance for, to do the second structure.
Okay. Do we have any remonstrators this evening for this petition? Either in favor of or against? Any remonstrators? What kind of questions do we have as a board?
I see you're going to put a fence up rather than a cover.
We're going to have both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
we have an automatic cover with the key, and then we're also going to put a privacy fence up too.
Nice.
Any other questions or comments of the board?
Mm-mm.
If none, I will entertain a motion.
Madam President, I would move we approve the petition for a variance of developmental standards for Michael and Rhonda Graves to construct a second accessory structure, being an in-ground pool. Property is located at 4957 North Remington Square, LaPorte, Indiana, in Kankakee Township. It's zoned R1A on 1.02 acres.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Hearing none, your motion's passed. Good luck.
Okay. May I ask what are the next steps then?
You're going to go back to the building department for your permit.
Okay, which will be tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Good evening.
Okay. Since petition number 2 has been postponed, we're going to move on to petition number 3, a variance of developmental standards for Yellow Door Homes, LLC, to construct a 54 feet by 30 feet pole barn with a bathroom without a residence, not to be used as a dwelling for personal use. The pole barn will have a side setback of 20 feet instead of the minimum required 30 feet for the property located at 10579 West Alita Road, Westville, Indiana, Clinton Township, zoned ag on .33 acres. Is petition number 3 here, Yellow Door Homes. If you would please present your legal work to our attorney, please. That's who I am.
Hi. Here's your proofs of mailing and your affidavit of publication.
Thank you.
Your affidavit of publication.
So I tried to get a copy of the newspaper, and I got withdrawn.
Did they send you an affidavit in the mail?
But I have all these papers.
Let me take a look real quick. Hold on, I think they included this.
Slag?
You got the paper there?
So, this is part of the
Frozen rain.
It's not out.
So there's heavy minerals out there.
There's no non-railroad.
Right, but this is...
We got an outstanding building commissioner who cut it out
and starts going that way.
and included it in my packet. So you're good to go? Well, go ahead and go up to the podium and
Rail and then...
tell them what you want. No sacred.
Thank you. If you would speak into the microphone, please, and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Christina Hanslick, and the business address is 697 North, 600 East, Westville, Indiana.
And Christina, who is going to reside at this, or who's going to occupy this space?
I've been blessed with a lot of donations for my business. I restore houses. I usually purchase every year at the tax sales, and I need somewhere to store things. We're acquiring materials to fix up these houses and equipment to fix up these houses, and I just need a storage building.
So you operate Yellow Door Homes?
I do.
Okay. So would you actually be running your business out of this location, or just...
Not exactly. I might make phone calls while I'm there, but pretty much it's the locations are the houses that we buy to fix up. So it's not like I have customers coming and going. It's not that type of a business.
You wouldn't have a parking lot there for customers.
No.
So this is strictly for material handling. Storage.
Yeah.
How long have you owned the property?
Since 2015. It was a junkyard when I got it. We cleaned it up, and there was a dilapidated garage there that we finished tearing down.
Do we have anybody this evening to remonstrate for petition number 3, either in favor of or against? Petition number 3, anybody in favor or against? Does this one go with that?
What do you want to do with it?
I don't know, is that one this one?
Yeah, that's this one.
So I do want to note for the record that we have received a letter of remonstrance from Mike Dalton, who had, I don't think necessarily it's against it, but has some concerns. Do you want us to read the whole letter, Doug?
No, you can just summarize.
Concerns about the size of the parcel, that it was not large enough to build upon, concerns about increased traffic, and that Alita Road is a very quiet road. And I think that pretty much sums it up.
And I'll note that he is not an adjoining property owner.
Thank you. So no remonstrators for petition number 3. Any comments or questions from the board?
I mean, this isn't typical. We don't normally approve a building standing out by itself on a lot like this. I mean, and although this person isn't probably the adjoining owner, it's probably there are 2 houses to the west of your lot.
Correct.
And this must be one of the people that are in the house then to the west of this house. I mean, it's agricultural, it's residential, but it's really not. I mean, to say it's not warehouse is a stretch because it's within a stone throw of 2 warehouses, but it is separated by an abandoned railroad, and I'm not sure. I guess I'd like to hear what the rest of the board thinks about it. For your record.
Well, here's some additional information if it helps. My husband works for Westville Correctional Center, which is also to the back of the property, and we live on state grounds, even though the address that I gave you is my business address. We're really close to it, and because of our housing situation, I thought, that would make really good use of the property and increase the value of it.
Will all of the materials be stored in the structure in the pole building? Will you have anything out in the yard?
No, I'm not planning on having anything out in the yard.
Glenn, Earl, do you have anything?
What type of, instead of a pole barn, are you just going to build a steel building? Will it look like a pole barn to people driving by, or will it be more of a try to blend in?
I haven't really worked on the details yet, but I want it to blend in with the landscape as best I can. I have the vision in my head is very attractive. It's just like one overhead door and one man door, and just very secure building. And
again, the biggest problem is that we don't normally do this, and if we start here, I don't know where we stop. There has to be a reason beyond.
Well, I think a reason is, and I can empathize with this because my mother lived on the grounds at Westville Correctional Center, so you have no storage space whatsoever at your residence, correct?
Correct.
And as an employee of the Correctional Center, that's a fringe benefit of employment there. I mean, relatively cheap housing, correct?
Correct.
I can drive around in LaPorte County, as we all do, visiting places. We see barns out in the middle of nowhere all the time. I mean, I drive by buildings just like this virtually everywhere I go. I drive by one every day. It's just it's a pole barn in the middle of nowhere. And the guy stores his toys there. I know exactly what he's got in there. He's got boats and motorcycles. So, to say that we don't normally do it, then people have done it and we've grandfathered them in, or they've got variant. I mean, that's one of the things that's why we have a board of zoning appeals. If we normally did it, they would just go to the building director, and the director would say, okay, go do it.
Sure.
Well, I mean,
the county doesn't allow it in their specs, but they come to us to get permission, correct?
but normally people are going to build a home in the future. I mean, it's pretty rare that we put a building on a bare lot and don't expect anything but that building to exist. I mean, you have to look at it as more of a warehouse. It takes away from the residential, you know.
But it's not residential. It's agricultural, residential, it's all mixed. Right down the street, there's a couple warehouses. I mean, that's kind of what we're talking about here.
But it joins 2 homes.
Anne Marie, would you have some idea of how many standing barns are just on lots separated from homes? But you would agree that this is not going to be a rare occurrence in this county. There's quite a few. Madam President, I'll make a motion that we approve the petition for variance of developmental standards for Yellow Door Homes, LLC, to construct a 54-foot by 30-foot pole barn with a bathroom without residence. It will not be used as a dwelling. The pole barn will have a side setback of 20 feet instead of the minimum 30 feet. The property is located at 10579 West Alita Road, Westville, Indiana, Clinton Township, zoned Ag on 0.33 acres.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Motion passed. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was tentative with that one. There we go.
That was too tentative.
My gavel was out of whack. Hey. Petition number 4 this evening, which I hope you're all here for, is a petition for variance of developmental standards for Randy and Diana Skiba to construct an accessory structure 22 feet by 30 feet with a height of 22 feet instead of the maximum 18 feet, and to the side of the home instead of the rear. The property is located at 622 West Darlene Drive, LaPorte, Indiana, New Durham Township, zoned R1A. If you would present your legal work to our attorney, please.
Yes, I'm their builder. They're not here because they live in Arlington Heights, Illinois, so.
Okay. We'll get your information in just a few minutes then.
I was hoping you were not.
Of course.
It's warm. The lots.
Right. We need it.
Exactly. Now, if there were 6 or 7 monsters from the neighborhood, you think?
That's free.
Come on. All right.
Notice is adequate.
Thank you. So if you would give us your name and address for the record.
My name is Dan Anderson. I'm with Anderson Construction. My address is 288 Overlook Court in Valparaiso, 46385.
Okay, and Dan, can you explain to me the nature of the construction you're requesting?
I have another elevation drawings if you'd like to look at them.
Yes.
We would, please.
Hey, that was a quick yes.
He's the builder.
Here you go.
Basically, the homeowner, there's a 3-car garage that's going to be attached to the home, and he's wanting the extra, that are 2-car, because he has his father's 59, I think it's a Cadillac, and another car that he wants to be able to work on. He likes to fiddle with the cars. So the reason for the height of the garage is he wants to put a lift in there. So he's retired. So this is how he fiddles and what he does. It's not like there's going to be extra cars there and he's going to do this to make money. It's just to have the other building there. And that's why I designed the building, and I can't get it any lower than 22 feet and still get that 14 or 15 feet he needs in the middle to put the car and get it up. And if need be, I'm going to show you this as well. I had my guy who drew that, also add this. Should they be concerned about the roof itself, we can add the dormer to get rid of so much of the flat look of the roof, from the huge roof from the street. Because the side of the building with the two windows is what both go towards the street. There'll be a 25-foot wide driveway that both garages face. Which I also have a plat of the property if you want that as well.
Are you doing the home as well?
Pardon me?
Are you doing the home as well?
Yes, I'm the builder.
What is the height of the home?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. It's a ranch, 2,400 square foot ranch. It's got a cathedral ceiling in the middle. It's got to be at least what that is. I would certainly think. I mean, with the 3-car garage, it's got a 812 pitch roof, I believe. And again, I have that with me.
So what you're saying is, you could add this, it's not in the plans.
It's not in there right now. The homeowner would prefer not to have it because he wants to heat the building. He wants to be able to heat the garage, so if he wants to piddle out there in winter time, he can go out there and fire it up. Did you want to see the plat as well? No?
Maybe not. Maybe he has it back.
Put the dormer in.
You'd rather not.
I'm saying that this is.
That's going to face the road.
That if they put the dormer in, they'd rather not, but if we have to do this, Earl said to make sure we make a stipulation for it.
The owner prefers not to do that because he's going to heat the place, but he will do it if that's
Just to make it more
to appease.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of why. It was my idea. I said you might want to put that on there just in case.
Thank you for the
What
explanation.
faces the road?
This side.
You're in a condo.
And again, the house is 2,400 square feet with a 3-car garage, so it's pretty large on its own as well. And it's a walkout, so it'll take up a lot of the space. I think it'll look pretty good side by side myself, but.
Well, let's hear about the remonstrators.
Okay.
I know it's the part you dread, but if you have a seat, we'll hear
I'll
from
sit down.
anybody here remonstrating for or against. So let's go one at a time. Come on up and give me your name and address for the record.
Okay. My name's James Saunders. I own the property directly across the street from this. I'm at 3343 South Coulter Creek Drive.
Okay. What are your concerns?
My concern is the building does not fit in with the residential neighborhood. It's a residential neighborhood. This is not county property. It's not on a county road. Everything in the neighborhood is within the zoning ordinances. And my concern, in addition to, I don't know how tall the garage door is.
Just a typical 8-foot high.
8-foot door?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that thing, when there's-
James, I'm going to ask you,
It's only 8 foot.
excuse me, I'm going to ask all remonstrators to direct your comments to the
Okay,
board,
all right,
and then we'll have Dan come back up and have responses.
Okay. So, yeah, my concern is it looks directly out my window, and I have this big giant building that I have to look at all the time. So I'm against the...
Did you see what the building looks like?
No, I asked for an elevation. I never got one. I'd like to see it next to the house, but...
I think we would too.
Yeah. It's going to have the same siding as the house.
Pardon me?
The same siding on the barn will be the house. So
Same shingles, same siding, so it will look like it's part of the house.
It just doesn't fit in the neighborhood. That's my whole concern. I have to look at it. I'm right across the road.
Would you come up to the...
Certainly.
Turn that drawing around so you can see it.
the whole that or this.
This.
Yeah, basically...
They're basically setting the home and this beside it.
Correct.
With the drive, they don't want the garage door facing the drive, it looks like. So it's just going to look like a...
The garage doors will be facing the home.
That's what it looks
Yes.
like.
Yeah.
So what he said that they would add that dormer to give it the
little more
appearance of the home, make it more appealing to you rather than just having a flat roof or a pitched roof that you're looking at.
I just think it's too big.
It's not even required that they do that, but
Right.
that's their one.
And again, it's, I believe, we haven't got it confirmed, but it's going to be the same height as the home. It's not going
I don't know
to.
how you can do that and get the height that he needs.
Except
Okay.
demonstrators' comments.
Okay,
Because
thank you.
he's at about 14 feet for his walls. At an 8-12 pitch, he's going to be at 22 feet. Those walls are very, very tall. He's kind of making it look different here. It's,
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who would like to be next?
I'm concerned about my property value looking out of my dining room window.
I'm sorry, your name and
My
address?
name is Michelle Saunders.
And your address?
Yeah. I'm looking directly out my dining room window at a 22-foot tall building. Now, what's that going to do to my property value on my home? We are within 50 feet of the road. He's directly across the road.
Okay, thank you.
Hi there.
Hi, your name and address?
Robin Lewis, 6235 West Darling Drive, LaPorte, Indiana. I'm next door to the property.
And what are your concerns?
I'm against, obviously. My concerns are that I think it's going to be a large structure and not fit in with the rest of the neighborhood. And my other concern is their property. When you come into our subdivision off of Coulter Creek and drive down Coulter Creek, you would run into their property. Mm-hmm. So anybody that enters our subdivision, that's all they're going to see is a house with the big garage next to it. So if they put the garage behind the house, I'm not opposed to that, but I don't think it's going to look right next to it. And I haven't seen it either. I did ask for pictures as well, and I was never given those.
Okay. Thank you. Hi there.
Hi.
Your name and address?
Anthony Pilarski, 3442 South Tracy Allen Drive, LaPorte, Indiana. I'm kind of next to it. It's kind of on a curve. I'm directly next to it.
Okay.
My concern is the same as everybody else's. That it's not going to look right in our neighborhood. You can, like Robin said, you can see that it's like Coulter Creek is right off of Joliet Road, which is the entrance to our subdivision. Mm-hmm. You can see that. You will be able to see that structure straight on coming off. In my opinion, I've built buildings in the county, pole buildings, things like that. We're surrounded by agricultural. Our whole neighborhood is surrounded by agricultural. If they really wanted to build a building this size, this big, outside of our neighborhood, great, because it's right there. It's literally 300-400 feet away. They could build something there. Just kind of my opinion on that.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to hear something more, anything new that other than it just doesn't fit with the neighborhood, because we definitely have heard that one. So anything new?
My name's Randy Lewis, 6235 West Darling Drive. I would be the neighbor to the west of them. Mm-hmm. And when I'd walk out my garage, the only thing I would see was the back of this big building out my garage, and that would be my view every day.
And that's your garage is pretty close to the property line,
My
right?
garage is probably 100 feet off the road, and it's close to the property line.
Pretty close to their property line. Okay.
Yeah. But I built behind my house, and I could put a lift in mine, and it doesn't have to be that tall. I'm within the specs. It doesn't have to be that tall to put a lift in.
Okay.
I just don't want to look at it every day. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think this is going to be our last remonstrator.
Yep. My name's Josh Crickon, 3434 South Coulter Creek Drive. I live in a subdivision. My property doesn't adjoin it, but like they were saying, I'm on the main drag going through. That's what everybody's going to see. I got a copy of the covenants. I'm assuming that the structure is going to be in compliance with the covenants.
Well, whether or not the structure is in compliance with your covenants has nothing to do with the decision of this board.
Okay.
That's going to be something that would have to come with your neighborhood association.
Well, there is no HOA.
then you'll have to handle it however it is handled with your subdivision.
Okay.
But it has no bearing on our decision as a board.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to beat a horse, dead horse, but I'm against it then.
Thank you very much. All right, so hearing some remonstrance, do we have any, if you'd like to come back up, do we have any further questions or clarifications?
Okay, the first thing that's on my mind.
You're going to wait for us. If
Oh,
you
I'm
just
sorry.
wait a second,
You
I'm
guys ask
asking,
questions,
I'm
please,
asking these
please.
guys what kind of questions they have.
Got it.
I can hear their wheels turning up here, so.
Well, first question I would ask is, upon the completion of the 2,400 square foot home at this garage, will there be any home in the immediate neighborhood worth more in value?
No. This total is going to be around $550,000. That's without the garage. If you allow the garage,
that
it's
kind of
another
negates the
$40,000.
factor that it will depreciate other people's value.
Yes, it's on two lots. That's one other big.
It's on two lots rather than one, and it's going to be the highest priced home in the neighborhood.
That includes a lot. I mean, the land. Right. When I say that price.
The gentleman said he could put a lift in his garage at not half 22 feet high.
Well, I think the difference is, if it's a garage, I believe it is, it's got a double door. And my guy has to have two single doors so the lift can go off just in one side. And also, one other thing I heard, not trying to not just answer your questions, but the wall's going to be 9.5 feet high. That's all. The side walls, if you look at that, the foundational 6 inches up, excuse me, with 9-foot walls. That's why I had to increase the depth of the roof to get to the amount of height we needed in the middle. That's why you'll see a door to the side. Then the center door is where I'll have the lift. Then the right-hand door will be the second car that he wants to work on every now and then.
What is the thought process behind leaving the garage to the side instead of to the rear of the house?
I think he just wants the ability to switch from side to side, to be honest with you, because he also has 3 cars that'll be in the other garage. So if he wants to work on them, he can just switch them back and forth without any problem. I really don't know, to be honest with you, and he's not here to answer that. But just when he was talking to me about just getting it designed and all that, he really wanted them across from each other. That way, if he has tools he wants to take from one side to the other, it's not like he's walking into his backyard and walking 250 feet away or something like that. Plus, the elevations of the lot might have something to do with it. To try to go to the back of the lot, it sinks. So it gives us doesn't give us all the room that we would normally have with that much property. There was a pond in the back.
What structure is that? That's going to be that one we talked about right there.
That looks pretty good to me.
It is. I mean, the only thing we're looking at here is there's 2 variances here. It's whether we decide that they can build this to the side of their house and whether it can be 22 feet. They can build it otherwise on the lot without those 2 restrictions. So we're not stopping them from building an accessory structure. They're just asking this variance to make it handy for them, to make it easy for them. And I think, this is a $500,000 project. They're trying to make it aesthetically pleasing. They're not.
Yeah.
Greg, do you have any questions?
Not a bit.
Anything additional, Earl? I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion. We grant the petition for variance of developmental standards for Randy and Diane Skiba to construct the accessory structure 22 feet by 30 feet with a height of 22 feet instead of the maximum 18 feet and to the side of the home instead of the rear. The property is located at 6227 West Arlene Drive, LaPorte, Indiana, New Durham Township, Zone R1A.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
I have a second and a motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Hearing none, your petition passes.
Thank you.
Good luck.
And I can go get permitting ready tomorrow? Because we're gonna...
Attorney BG, is there any other business in front of the board this evening?
No, ma'am.
Anne Marie, are you aware of any further business for the board?
I'm sorry.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor? Aye. Good evening.